Hey, welcome. This is Leah Bales with the Soul Big Life Show. Today, we're talking about how your self-talk can help you deal with tough situations. And I'll give you 5 ways that you can talk to yourself to make tough times, difficult situations, challenges much easier. So, first of all, we're all talking to ourselves all the time, whether you do it out loud occasionally, like I do, or whether it's all inside. There's that talking to ourselves that's going on. Sometimes it's kind of like a background soundtrack. Sometimes it's really there and you're aware of it, but it's happening all the time. And the way you talk to yourself makes a big difference in lots of parts of your life, your health, your success, your well-being, your relationships. And today we're going to talk especially about the way you talk to yourself in tough situations. Something challenging can be a little bit challenging or a big challenging. So just begin thinking of that. The first key for this is to notice kindly. We need to notice what's going on. We need to become aware of what's going on before we can begin to change it or have any impact in it. And when we notice with kindness, our whole being, our mind, our body, our whole self responds more favorably. So rather than that noticing that's sort of chastising or critical, it's that kind noticing that we want to cultivate. So begin noticing kindly. Just get curious. When I'm thinking about this tough thing that I need to deal with or that I've been putting off or that's happening in my life, what am I saying to myself? What's in the background? Just begin noticing that. Or in the foreground, you may find yourself actually saying it out loud even. Whether it's subtle, whether it's really obvious, begin noticing how you're talking to yourself. And sometimes we're even talking to ourselves by replaying tapes of something someone said to us a long time ago or last week or yesterday. So notice what that is. And then notice, how does it affect you? How do you feel in your body? How do you feel mentally? How is that affecting you? And noticing which things are helping you do more and which things actually kind of shut you down. The second part is to stop saying the things that make it tougher to do whatever it is you're trying to do. Notice which things make you feel like you're less than, which things you might say to yourself that make you contract or shrink or close up or think you can't do it. Notice how it affects you and stop saying those things. That's number 2. Number 3 is shift to saying things to yourself that are empowering, that make you feel expansive, that make you believe you can do it, that give you energy, that give you enthusiasm, that line you up with it, that make you ready to take on that challenge. Start saying those things. Let's have some examples. Imagine that you're running a race and you're going up a hill. Imagine if you were saying to yourself, if you noticed you saying to yourself, I don't think I'm going to make it, or I'm going to be last, or man, I'm so terrible at this, or why did I even do it? Notice how that makes you feel. For me, I'm imagining it, I would feel like I could hardly do it. I might just want to stop. It would slow me down. It would zap my energy. Instead, what if you shifted that to, yes, I can, I'm doing it. You imagined yourself at the end of the race. You imagined yourself getting up there. I've done it before. I can do it now. I've never done it. This time I can do it. Those things, if I imagine myself running up a hill, those things give me some energy. They put wind in my sails, energy in myself. I can move forward with those things. Those are the things I would want to say to myself. Imagine another example. You've got a speech to give and it's tough. You may be thinking, I don't know what I'm going to say. Maybe thinking, I'm probably not going to do very well. You may be thinking, I've always hated talking in front of people. Why did I say I would do this? Or imagining a time when you didn't do very well. None of those things are going to help you, probably. Imagine how you would feel if you're going to that. Imagine that you shift it to things like, I don't know how to do this. I'm going to get help. I haven't done this yet the way I want to, and I believe I can. I'm going to get support for this. Even sometimes being overly optimistic, like even thinking, I know I can do this. I don't need to prepare. It's going to all be fine. Everything will be wonderful. Everyone will love it. Sometimes those things we say to ourselves aren't very helpful. So notice, how does it feel? What can you say that can be more helpful to yourself? Yes, I can. I've got this. I'm doing this. Imagine yourself afterwards feeling good about what you did. Sometimes it's really subtle. A few years ago, I was writing a book for a hospital where I had created a program. And I started out my writing sessions thinking, this book needs to be great. This book needs to be great. Now, that might sound positive to you, but it was daunting to me. It actually made me feel like, oh, I don't know. How would I know it's going to be great? Who's going to think it's great? Maybe if they don't think it's great. And what I shifted to was, I know I can write a book that will be useful to people. And I did. So that saying this has to be great or this is going to be great wasn't motivating to me, but there were things I could say to myself that were really motivating. This is going to be useful. I want to write a book that helps people. In this case, it was people with chronic pain. Another example I had recently, just week and a half ago, I was facing a technical challenge, which I often do because technology is not something that has usually come as easily for me as some other things. And in the field I work in, there are always new things to need to learn. And so I was putting together a talk and I had a new computer and I didn't know how to do Keynote and connect it with Zoom. And I just could feel myself kind of shutting down, like, okay, well, I just won't do this. It's like, let's shift this. Noticing the thoughts that weren't helping, what thoughts would help. So one thing I did was future forecast. I imagined that by the end of the weekend, I knew how to do it and I had it figured out. And I imagined that I was bringing in ways to make it fun. I imagined that feeling of satisfaction with getting through that. So instead, other times I have just stopped and not done it. But that allowed me to propel through and find ways to integrate during the weekend to make it fun. I'm going to learn this. I don't know it now. I can learn it. I'm going to learn it. And I did. And was able to use it a few days later. So that felt great to me. And it was noticing how I was speaking to myself, noticing the words, the phrases that weren't working, how they affected me, how they zapped my energy, and noticing what it could do. Let it be playful. Find help, find support. Imagine that it's already done. I've done it and how great that feels. So all of those were different ways of talking to myself that let me get through that. So the fourth one, so the first, notice kindly. The second, stop saying the things that aren't helping. And they may be holding you in a pattern you've been in for such a long time that it feels true. You may feel like it's true I can't learn how to do Keynote. That may feel like a truth, or it's true I can't ever speak to people or make it up this hill. We make it true when we say those things. So some of these are so ingrained. So number one, notice kindly. Number two, stop saying the things that are holding you back from what you want to create or achieve. Number three, shift to statements that make you feel energized, enlivened, positive, like you can do it, like you've got the ability to do this, you've got more energy. And number four, have a collection of those statements ready. Here are a few I like to use. Yes, I can. I believe I can, and so I will. There is a way, and I will find a way. That one's from my dear friend and coach, Kristen Thompson. There is a way, and I will find a way. May not know it now, but there is a way, and I will find that. There are people that can help me with this. This right now, I don't know how to do, and I want to learn how. So there are lots and lots of those. I actually have put together today a list on my blog. You can go there, leahbales.com/blog. And there are a whole lot of these. So the reason to have a collection of these is when we're in a state when we feel like we can't do something, we're feeling discouraged, we're feeling like it's just too tough. It's nice to go and have a list. So I've started a list and I'd love to have you add some there and add your own, take the ones that work. and have them ready to use, because we all run into challenges and tough times. And we need to be able to mobilize the self-talk that helps us get through it and create what we really want. The next one, number 5, is a little quirky. Let's try saying those statements to yourself in second person or even third person. So you can try, so I read some interesting studies with this, and they were actually using runners and athletes. So we go back to the example of running up the hill, and imagine you're saying, yes, I can, yes, I can, yes, I can, like the little ninja that could, right? I think I can, I think I can, yes, I can. You can shift it to, yes, you can. And some people believe that for them, that actually makes it better. You can imagine someone saying it to you. Yes, you can. You can even use your name. Yes, Leo, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can make it up this hill. I believe in you. So it's like you're talking to yourself in second person, like you're talking to someone else, but you're talking to yourself, encouraging you. That, for many people and in some situations, seems to be most effective. You can even do it in third person. I thought I had my mug with me right here, but I don't. I have a mug that says, she believed she could, and so she did. And so you can even say it like you're hearing, you're like in a race or you're getting ready for a talk. You can imagine someone saying, she made it. She did a great job. She got there. She did something that was tough. She figured it out. He did this that he'd never done before, but he learned and he made it happen. You can imagine someone else saying it, so it's in third person. So that's kind of a quirky way to talk to yourself, but often can be even more effective. And I have a bonus for you, a bonus tip. And you probably are doing this, if you're doing this along with me already, but I encourage you to do it even more. And that's physicalize it, embody it, feel it in your body. Notice what happens to yourself if you say, I don't think I can. I shrink. I don't think I can. I don't think I can do this. I'm probably going to fail. I've never done this before. I don't know how. Those things physically tend to shrink us. We don't have the energy. We don't have the blood flowing through. Our brain's not working as well when we do that. So add in the physicality of, yes, I can. Make a gesture, stand up, open your heart and your chest, feel your feet, feel yourself strong and able and courageous and willing to give it a try. So physicalize it is the bonus. So number 1, notice kindly, get curious. What are you telling yourself? What's your self-talk around this thing that is tough or challenging? And even like sometimes I'll often hear people say, oh, it's so hard. If we say to ourselves, oh, it's so hard, again, that's one of those that makes me kind of shrink. If you say to yourself, this is tough and I can figure it out. This is tough and I can rise to the challenge. That's different. So number 1, notice kindly, get curious. What are you saying to yourself? Number 2, stop saying the things that weaken you, that make it harder, that block you. Number 3, shift to statements that empower you, that activate your brain, your physicality, your emotions, your spiritual self to be able to take on this challenge. Number 4, have a collection of those statements ready. And go to my blog if you want some suggestions for some of those. Number 5, try talking to yourself, second person or even third person. Yes, you can. Yes, she did it. Anyway, like that. And number 5, embody it. Feel that sense of accomplishment and vitality and energy, courage, love, strength, whatever it is that will help you deal with this, and align that with those statements. And your self-talk will be powerful, strong, strategic, and almost like magic. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know what you try, what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. And I'll see you next Thursday on the Soul Big Life Show.